elämä ja henki. TPS, TPS. Ei siinä kukaan ole isäntä, ei renki. S. TPS, TPS. Kun johtomaali syntyy päältä putokitsi, ne huutaa ovat yhtä yleisö ja tipsi. Ja pojat tahtoo sitä makiata lisää. Maali, maali, maali se on makiata. Hunajata, hunajata, hunajata mulle. Hunajata, hunajata, hunajata sulle. Oh, oh, oi viu. Maali, maali, maali se on makiata. Hunajata, hunajata, hunajata mulle. Hunajata, hunajata, hunajata sulle. Sellaisia pelureita noista.
Now's your opportunity to explore, coach, and compete in one of the most unique leagues that the sport has ever seen. Contact Seth at lacrosse.co.il.
Läppyä pussiin, tutolla on sellainen henki. Läppyä pussiin, jätkillä on ilmettämä lempi.
Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome back to the 2019 Alice Hrebesky Memorial Tournament. We are at the 7th place game as we come to the short strokes of this tournament. Yemi Viren starts things out for the Turku Titans, and Joachim Miller comes up with the first possession for Turku, wearing their cream jerseys, going left to right. Throws it back up to Marcus Matala, and they will be facing the Nova Scotia Privateers, wearing their black jerseys, going right to left. There's Viren with the ball. I am Stephen Stamp, joined by Brian Tyack.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you're up here. We're going to have a lot of fun. These games are getting pretty exciting. I feel like that any of the top 8 teams could be legitimate contenders for the championship. So these are very good teams here.
I agree. It just comes down to small bounces here and there, and both Turku and the Privateers have shown they're more than capable of winning here.
Thomas Chekal starting in net for the Privateers. He makes the save on that shot. And Lori Usatalo, the only goalie here for the Titans, as usual, in between the pipes. They do have a very good up-and-coming young goaltender. He's not available because he's still in school right now, and that is Rope Jokela's little brother.
He's actually back in British Columbia playing Junior B for the Richmond Roadrunners, I believe. So it's his second year, and from what I've heard, he's just progressed steadily and getting very, very good.
They're very excited about his future. But right now, the present is battling for 7th place at the 2019 AHM. Rope Jokela gets it through to Alti Hutnainen. Hutnainen rolls off the check, runs into another defender, gets a shot off and scores.
Great individual effort. That's the type of goals that Turku is going to need because their big guns might not always be firing, and the secondary guys need to follow through.
And Nova Scotia, a very well-coached team with Rod Humphreys, very smart team. Yeah, exactly. You know they're going to be keying on Rope Jokela and Jarno Aaltonen. So someone like Hutnainen can really add some value. And that's just a great shot coming around the defender and pulling it back towards the near post. Nova Scotia comes up with possession. We're going to see what they can set up here as Gavin Quigley starts with the ball. Henrik Harala and Marcus Matala on him. And you can see still some slipperiness, guys, having a little trouble adjusting. There's a chance for Patty Quinn. He is turned aside. Great save, Usatalo. Quigley gets it back immediately for the Privateers. We have Jasper Goodwin up for an offensive set, number 88. Mostly a defender. He's had a great tournament again. He really stood out to me last year with a great tournament. He's just continued that play. And this year his parents came.
Oh, perfect.
It's very cool to see the families come out and enjoy the tournament. They love it. There's a chance for Goodwin. Oh, what a goal! Drifts one over the shoulder of Usatalo. Nice gritty work down in the corner to get the ball back for the Privateers, and then the finish by Goodwin.
Great cut through the middle, end of the shot clock. Looks like Turku might have been sleeping a little bit there, but that's why he played right to the buzzer or the whistle, and the hard work paid off and ended up in the back of the net.
Just a nice little touch shot. You don't see a lot of offensive output from Goodwin, but he is stoked about that one to tie things up 1-1. We're just 3 minutes into the game here. Viren back at the dot. Goodwin will often take the face-off, but in this case it's Jamie Dunbar going up for the draw. Goodwin earns a break with that goal. Dunbar came up with the ball, but 3 Titans all around him. Still somehow the captain's holding on to it. Shovels it across, off the arm, and then the post as Brett Penny tried to get that one through.
Great effort on both ends for the shot and the goalie.
Marcus Matala, who will be, speaking of British Columbia, he'll be back playing probably with the Langley Thunder. He's going for a tryout with them this year. Has played in the WLA before. It's great to see the European players getting over to Canada. Oh, that shot actually deflected off someone from Hutnainen and wound up hitting the goaltender. Chekal had to be alert. 2-on-1, now one comes off the bench. That'll turn them back. And it'll be pulled out by Thomas Crane, who had a couple of goals for them earlier in the day in the 5-through-8 semifinals. Pass across to McDonald. And on the back door, you could tell that they wanted the ball. It was Luke Parker looking for the pass. That shot by McDonald goes over the top. It's scooped up by Kimi Aho. That's number 13 that Aho is wearing. He's actually wearing Anssi Kaselmi's extra number 33 jersey with some tape to make it a 13.
That's some Finnish ingenuity right there.
Right? That's a pretty good one. There are some very lame tape numbers that you'll see at tournaments when guys have to adjust uniforms. Oh, the stick breaks for Goodwin. He's got to get to the bench. He was offered a fresh stick, but he's just going to jump off and let Nick Simpson come on and take a shift. Stick still out there in the way. Jimmy Viren reaches around, misses, hooked it a bit, and it's picked up by the Privateers. Oh, they've got a man off the bench. It just skips off the stick. Couldn't quite catch it. That was Andrew McNeil going after it. Quigley goes into cover, but Tuomas Tilkinen comes up with it. He's wearing the number 6 of Robert Reitala. Tilkinen having a solid tournament, but they really do miss Robert Reitala. He's off doing some, I think he's an electrician. I keep forgetting whether it's engineering or electrician, but I think it's electrician exam that he needs to have for certification so that he can work for the next 6 months. Not have to wait for the next one.
Yeah, he's, big goal.
Ansi Kaselmi has been hot all tournament. That's his 7th goal of the tournament as he bounces it far side.
Ansi Kaselmi doesn't make the miss Robert Rattala with play like that, but great individual effort to beat his man low and just put it far side.
Excellent toe drag, and yeah, he really stepping into the shoes of Rattala.
This is great experience for him because it just shows him what he is capable of and just helps the other guys build up confidence on O.
While we're on the, if you're looking on the roster on board, go to ahmemorial.cz. That's ahmemorial.cz. And you can follow along. And just one tip, go to where it says results/stats, not program, which is the schedule, because the results is where everything's updated and all the teams, all the games for today are on board. We're into the final 4 games, placing the 1st through 8th place teams. Nova Scotia, who were in the finals last year, pretty disappointed to be in the 7th place game after they lost to the Glasgow Clydesiders in the quarterfinal, and then dropped a very tight game this morning to the Alberta Warriors.
Yeah, and that's not the way you want to start the morning, but it looks like they come out to play already, and should be a good first half, second half.
There's a jump shot. That one's not going to get through, and it will be grabbed by Laurie Usitalo as Drew McDonald tried to create something late in the shot clock. Here's Marcus Matala. He'll leave it for the big man, Jarno Aaltonen. Great save by Jay Kyle. Speaking of Jarno Aaltonen, just saw his baby boy outside the boards of the rink with his stick in hand. Apparently he cries whenever he doesn't have his stick. Oh, what a shot! Brilliant finish there by Trey Carvery. That's a nice finish. I saw a great diving goal he had earlier in the tournament, but I think that might be only about his 2nd goal of the tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was just a great shot coming cross crease, giving a little quick stick fake to get Usitala set in his feet, and then just coming on burying it far side.
Carvery's actually got 4 goals now. This is 4, so he's a
quiet 4 goals.
Quiet 4 goals. He may have had some this morning. I didn't get a chance to see those games. Had some other prep to do and things. Face-off win for the Privateers. Go up top to settle things down is John McDonald. Taking his time, hands it off to Paddy Quinn. Stick up around the neck. Nothing called there, and we continue down into the final 10 seconds of the shot clock. Nova Scotia trying to generate something. McDonald backpedaling. Toe drag is knocked out as Renee Callanan gets on the stick, and that's going to expire the shot clock. Turku will come the other way. 2-2 the score as Renee Callanan takes this ball. Sees a sea of black jerseys, so he's going to slow it down, hand it off to Aaltonen.
Aaltonen is one of those guys who can just use his size and back the player down and post up and just dish. He's got great hands.
Callanan over to Huutinainen, who scored the first goal. Viren. Long outside shot by Huutinainen, doesn't get through as the shot clock about to expire. So he'll just roll it down into the corner. An extra swat by Jimmy Viren.
Both teams are playing great D here so far, limiting the opponent to just only outside shots. So I think both goalies should be more than capable of handling.
Oh, nice cut underneath, and Quigley bounces it, 5-hole. Just as you're saying, limiting the outside shots.
Yeah.
You see Quigley duck underneath.
As you see the replay here, he just gave him a quick fake going up top, came down low, and there wasn't help on the weak side, so just great recognition by Quigley just to beat his man low.
That's all alone. Nobody could get there in time to help out. That's Max Kiviniemi, number 3, wearing the Helminen jersey. He had his international debut, I believe it was last year in Israel at the World Field Lacrosse Championships. A terrific young player, very athletic, very talented. Just a step high on that one. Ilka Miller comes up with the ball, wearing his Philadelphia Wings jersey, where he had a handful of games. I thought he played very well for Philadelphia. Definitely looked at home, didn't look out of place in the National Lacrosse League.
Exactly, and I think it just shows the talent of European lacrosse that someone like him can just come over, step in, and just not look out of place, as you said.
Yeah. I think there are other players who could go over. I mean, Dominic Peshek, I think, would fit in wonderfully. He It's tough to crack a lineup as a right-handed forward in the NLL. There's so much talent already, and Pesek is clearly a 1 or a 2. He's not really the guy you're going to slip in as a 3 or 4. Parker, the C's part, but the save by Usitalo. He's going to step out of his crease. No, he's just going to whip it over. Pretty good movement, and a collision there. Oh, and that's...
Turku's not to get lucky to be caught on too many men there.
I think... Oh, it's a 10-second count. It was too many men because the defender, it was actually, was that Kasalmi heading off the floor?
I think so. I think they got stopped.
Yeah. And it hit him as he ran to the bench, but he obviously wasn't trying to play it. Oh, sorry, that was Petr Sefcovic. That gets through, but comes out the other side, and it's picked up there by Kimiaho. Bounce pass doesn't get through. McDonald goes after it, pulls it to himself, but it gets away. Miller tries to pick it up. Eventually it's Patty Quinn with it. Fresh 30 for Nova Scotia. Kilkinen way up high. Big pick by Quigley. Oh, almost got the pass, but it was just a little hot for him. Quinn has the stick knocked out of his hands, and Miller will go for a bit of a run. And the soft touch pass ahead. And let's Tilkinen go with it. He leaves it there for Rope Jokela. Watch for Jokela running across the top and shooting on the run. Although he's really been more of a setup guy in this tournament. A bunch of assists, just a couple of goals. Here's a chance down the middle for Kaselmi, who's really feeling it, but that one couldn't get too much on it. Jokela tracks it down, swats it into the corner, but he's got no teammate help there. Now there's some. Viren comes up with it, and there's a reset. I'm not sure why.
Didn't see a shot on net, but...
oh, it doesn't matter as Jake Cal makes the big save. But yeah, there was no possession.
But it should be Privateer's ball here, and yeah, they end up with it.
Yeah, Jake Cal made the save and just landed on top of the ball. Luke Parker actually had it just pop out of him while he was cradling. Well, I'll tell you, Jarno Altonen's kid, who's about a year, was cradling a ball with the stick. He doesn't just have the stick. He's got a ball, and he keeps it in there. Very impressive for a toddler. Pass down below the goal line. We got Parker cutting across on the near side. Jamie Dunbar opens up, and he gets a shot off. Picked up there by Sefcovic. There's the ball pop out of his stick. He's got lots of time to get across center to beat the 10-second count. Throws it to Rope Jokela, almost going back over center. And Sefcovic is just going to head to the bench, get another attacker out.
This offense that you see here from Turku is pretty much going to be one of the offenses they run in Langley. It's
this is very much the Finnish national team.
And for them, this is just good to get more and more reps. They weren't here at the E-Box just based on financial considerations, but this should have a huge impact on their development.
Yeah, and as a coach of the Switzerland team living in Germany, you understand the value of getting game repetitions.
Exactly. All these teams practice a lot, but at the same time, game experience is head and shoulders what everyone needs in every country, and tournaments like this just has a huge impact on the development of countries.
Jamie Dunbar with the ball. Marcus Matala up on him. One-hand shot. That's off the post. That almost went in. What an attempt by Jamie Dunbar as we near the end. We're 1 minute from the end of the first half of two 15-minute running time halves. That's thrown away. Great reaction by Tuomas Tilkinen. Gets it over to Kimiaho. Tilkinen is flattened and he'll head to the bench. Joachim Miller will take his time. A few spots of rain starting to land on the plexiglass in front of us. And the wind is picking up a bit. Hopefully it doesn't get quite like last night.
Yeah.
Jokela down to Altonen, or to Miller, stepped in the crease. Great diving effort, but his feet just slid out from under him.
Yeah, it just shows what effect the rain has on this turf. Even though it dried out a bit during the day, but you can still see these guys slipping all over the place and really limited on that shot there. With
the gray leggings and his height and size and the way he plays, how much does Joachim Miller remind you of Kyle Matisse, his former teammate?
Yeah.
Looking a lot like him there.
Well, I definitely think playing with Matisse probably had a big impact on him, and he's having a great tournament so far. He's the rock of the Turku Titans defense.
I've been very impressed with Henrik Harala. I think he's been outstanding, among the best in the tournament.
Yeah, unfortunately, Henrik had an injury at the E-Box, or European Box-lacrosse Championship, excuse me. He worked our gate for the Swiss, and he was a great help, but if he didn't have that injury, he would have been in the lineup for sure for Finland, and he's going to be a big addition for them this coming Worlds.
The The score is 3-2 in favor of the Nova Scotia Privateers through 15 minutes. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back with the second half at the AHM 2019. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Tyak. Thanks for being with us. See you soon. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2019 Alice Hrebesky Memorial Tournament. I'm Stephen Stamp, joined by Brian Tyak. What a game, 3-2 Privateers. They get the final few seconds of the halftime up. It's a 3-minute halftime, and repeatedly, everyone's ready to go before that. These guys are fired up to get playing.
Yeah.
Jamie Dunbar taking the draw against Marcus Matala. So we normally would see Goodwin and Viren out there. They take one off, and it's fought for along the boards. Pops out, and it looks like
Henrik Corrala in there on there.
Corrala gets it very calmly. Nice play to bounce it along the boards to Joka Miller, and the outlet pass. Here's a chance, Joka. Oh, that's a beautiful goal. Chikal does a very impressive set of splits, but can't stop the ball.
Well, we were just saying at halftime that we felt Ropa Jokela was held pretty quiet that first half, and well, he just proved us wrong with one shot, and what a shot it was.
He's so dangerous and tiptoes along the line. It's going to be interesting on the back, this view. We can see where his feet are. Ooh, just outside, close, right?
Ooh, yeah.
If you had a challenge flag, would you throw it?
It would be a close one. I would maybe save it till later in the game.
Late in the game, you'd throw it for sure.
I wouldn't question it if it was thrown.
Yeah. In the NLL, they go, once they get into the final 2 minutes, the challenge flag is taken out of the coach's hands, and there's a mistake on the line as Andrew McNeil just stepped over the line before the play was blown in. So Finland will get the ball, Turku. But yeah, so if it was about 3 minutes left, I'd throw the flag.
Yep.
Because when else do you use your timeout? But
nope.
That's tell me. Other than that, though, I think I'd let it go. There's Jarno Altonen banging around in the middle. Jokela, the last goal scorer. Tried to feed it through. Nice team defense, though, by Nova Scotia. And it's picked up. Here comes Nova Scotia the other way. Chris Clifford on the run. First man out is Jonas Martin. And just to correct myself, I was talking about Jarno Altonen's son. And for those of you who are like, oh my goodness, why didn't Jarno tell me he had a son? It was Yishi Kostal's son, who was another very tall left-handed forward. Honestly, they both were number 9. And that's my mistake. And that kid, I'll tell you, is the future of Czech lacrosse.
Yeah, if he has any talent like his dad, then he should be a great lacrosse player.
Yeah, Kostal, a big, intimidating forward. Nice job by Kimi Aho, who was added to this club and long time Finnish national teamer. And brings some great D-transition work to the club.
He's one of those guys who's just quiet. You don't really notice in the game, but for a D-tranny guy, that's exactly what you want.
Yeah. Very smart decisions, pushing the ball up the floor, and tough. He's a big, tough guy who'll make it unpleasant for opposing forwards. There's Altonen, pass through. Oh, Jokela, he's got it. It's a goal.
What a play. What a pass by Jarno Altonen.
And the catch in traffic. I mean, it had to be put in the perfect spot by Altonen. And then, what a catch. Just quick release while he's staying out of the crease.
Pinpoint accuracy by Jarno Altonen right to Rope Jokela, and he just knows what to do right in that spot.
And Rope Jokela's 4 feet, his 2 feet down twice, totaled about maybe 6 to 8 inches outside the crease on those 2 goals.
Yeah. But those 2 players have played so long together, and they just know each other and what, how to play, and
great chemistry, great familiarity. Nova Scotia breaking it down. They trail by 1 now.
But unfortunately for Finland, Jarno is not going to be at the World Championships, so that's going to be a big loss.
Oh, that one gets through Usatalo, but goes wide. What's he doing at the Worlds?
He's becoming a doctor, so med school. Fortunate timing, but you know, life must go on.
That's the reality of life, in particularly in European lacrosse, but in all lacrosse. 10-second count is rapidly approaching, and Nova Scotia will get the turnover.
Great pressure by the Privateers on that to get the ball back.
3 of them, and then McDonald throws a bit low, but nice recovery by Quigley. He can't quite get that ball as Usatalo leapt on it. The long outlet pass to Jokela coming off the bench. Great hustle. Oh, penalty coming. Maybe too much hustle.
Too many men, I think. I think he stepped out a bit early.
Yeah. I actually, watching it, thought he might be a bit early.
Yeah.
Now, it's tricky because he came out and kind of stood in the change box for a bit and then stepped over the line to take the pass.
Yeah.
And if you're in the change box, you're kind of okay, right?
But I guess if the man isn't off and you get the ball, there's still 6.
If you get the ball,
so
regardless whether you're in the change box or not.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but if there's too many men, does Rope Jokela have to serve it? I would be maybe sending someone else.
No,
so,
he doesn't. Is he in?
Yeah, he went in the box, so maybe that will come back to haunt him. Yeah. He's definitely one guy you want to have on the man down.
Yeah. 1-minute penalty for illegal substitution.
Jamie Dunbar at the top of the power play. McDonald passes it down low. Skips away from McDonald for a moment. There are 3 McDonalds on this roster. So number 11 is John McDonald. 22 is Liam, and 23 is Drew. So 2 of them are out there right now. Penalty coming. Another one to Turku. You got to take that shot. And I'm not sure why play was blown down there.
Tripping call on Henrik Karala, so Turku will be down 2.
And you want to get that shot off to get as much time on the 5-on-3 as you can. Although in this situation, maybe a bit different because by the time the play is adjudicated, or the penalty adjudicated, you're actually going to get pretty low with the running time.
Turku Titans player number 11, Henrik Karala.
Hard sidearm rip by Drew McDonald. Turned aside by Usatalo. Miller trying to come up with it, taps it ahead, grabs the ball. Great play by Joachim Miller. He's got Matala with him. He's going to shoot, reverse hand, cross-hander there as John McDonald was checking him. And then Matala working hard for that ball.
Miller just looks so relaxed when he's running down the floor.
Yeah.
Sometimes a bit too relaxed, I think, but yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which can lead to the assumption he's not playing hard. He does play hard. I'm not sure he's had his best tournament in this, but he's been helpful. But, oh, what a rip from the outside by Patty Quinn to tie things up.
Well, we didn't have any penalties in the first half, and then we have 2 now, and Privateers have made Turku pay, so it'll be interesting the rest of the way.
There's always the consideration when you lose Henrik Karala, who I think has been Finland's top defender and would be out there on the penalty kill. That's a double whammy. You're missing him as a player, and you can't have him out there to try and kill the penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
Dunbar and Viren, quite a battle. Viren pops it out, just goes off the edge of the stick. Trey Carvery almost had it. Now eventually it's going to be quickly picking it up. Dunbar looking for the man, the cutter down. May have forced that one a little bit, but it winds up with Carvery, so it's no big loss for Nova Scotia. Dunbar gets it back. shot on the offset step. They go back door, a little bit too high for Quigley. He's going to pick it back up. They've got 6 to get a shot off. That shot is low, trying to go off the pad to get a reset, but it's swallowed up by Usitalo.
Turku needs a big offensive possession here. They played a lot of defense in the past few minutes, and a fresh 30 reset wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, nice low shot bouncing off the pads, but not into the goal stick as happened at the other end.
Yeah.
And you'd be golden. Here is Kaselmi. Or a goal. You don't mind a goal either. It's always nice. Hutnainen back to Altonen. Kaselmi on the near side. Jamie Dunbar on him, and that pass was knocked down as the 30-second shot clock will expire on the Titans. But that's okay.
Yep,
that
that's
30,
fine.
just like
that's
you
fine.
said, is fine.
Yep. Great D by the Privateers, though. Turku couldn't get in tight and ended up using the 30.
Dunbar taking his time, steps to the middle. Quick little behind the back pass to McDonald. Dunbar rips it. That one's blocked by Miller. Looks like Callanan will be the first one there. He can't quite get it, though. Quigley has it. 6 seconds to shoot. John McDonald to Drew McDonald. He's going to rip it right into the chest. Yoka Miller is always there in the thick of things to pick up those loose balls. The pass rolls away from Harala, and he just one-hands it back to Jokela. That's a pretty nifty little play as long as it works out. Sorry, Henrik Harala went running towards the bench to change, and about 15 feet out, he just went into a slide with his feet intentionally and pulled up. Shot from the outside by Alton and doesn't get through. 5 left on the shot clock. He tracks it down. Pops out, he's going to run out of time. Nova Scotia just wants the ball sitting on the carpet, and they'll get it.
That's back-to-back 30-second violations for the Privateers.
That one, they were trying to get the shot through, and Alton just got it blocked and couldn't get the ball back. Grant Blackman hands it off. Blackman has had a really good tournament as well for Nova Scotia. They just play such sound team defense. There's Quigley. Trying to get past Matala, turns it back up. Parker. Giving the Emmy right out on him. That shot goes off the shoulder of Justin Martin. Sorry, Jonas Martin. Pass through the middle. That's going to be an over and back as it didn't connect. Giving the Emmy starts to give pursuit of the ball, but realizes he can just head to the bench.
Look for Jokela and Jarno here to use up the 30 and try and get a good shot.
We're nearing the final 5 minutes of regulation time, and as we've had all weekend, very close competitive play. You know, a few games got a little bit separation, but so much because of the gold and silver group format. There's a shot by Alton. It's really been competitive from stem to stern.
Yeah, I mean, the talent just increases year in, year out, and you can tell the players are just really playing for pride, and no matter what the position is, the level of lacrosse is growing every single year.
There's a chance in the middle. Jump shot, Kaselmi. He switched sides for that one. Threw me a second. He's to the lefty. That's going to be a loose ball push and a fresh 30 for Turku. Rope Jokela will start with it. I was actually just chatting with someone from, who was it that came 24th?
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. Yes, and they lost to Bundeswehr by 1 in a shootout, and Bundeswehr lost to Custodes by 1.
Yeah.
So the 24th place team lost to the, or is it Jagged Mountain? No,
I think,
lost
I think
to
the Bundeswehr came top 10, top 15.
Yes, Bundeswehr came
but,
about somewhere around there.
Might have been Hellengar.
No, Hellengar was 23rd, I think. They beat.
Sorry, the Vienna Monarchs played Grizzlies. But okay. You're right, Bundeswehr lost to Tel Aviv by 1 goal.
By Tel Aviv, right, in their first game.
Yeah.
So you're looking at not much separation from 1st to 24th.
No.
And, you know, I mean, if Tel Aviv played Grizzlies, I think we'd see some separation.
Of course.
But when teams are playing at their best, anybody can pretty much compete with anybody. There are clearly some teams that are more advanced than others, but it's cool to see just how competitive a lot of these games are. 4-4, 3.5 minutes to go, power play for the Titans. Can they take advantage? Yes, they can. Jarno Alton and 5-hole gets it through Chikau.
Well, both Jarno Alton and Rope Jokela have definitely proved me wrong, because I said they didn't do much in the first half, and they came out and answered the bell. They've got 3 goals between them this second half, and Turku now is a good 5-4 lead with about 3 minutes left in the game.
I would say they proved you right, because you said they needed to step up, and they have.
That's true, that's true.
The glass is half full.
Exactly, I like that. I'll take it.
Jamie Dunbar comes up with the ball, tries to flip one through, is knocked down by Miller, goes straight out to McLeod, though. McNeil, sorry.
Oh, it's getting slippery out there now.
Turku Titans goal scored
Little
by
bit of fresh
player
rain.
number 9, Jarno Aaltonen.
I'm surprised more players don't
Assisted
have
by
some
player number
more
50,
turf
Robe
shoes
Jokela.
with some nubs.
Yeah.
To
give him a bit better grip.
Sidearm
Sidearm shot by Quigley. Nice save, Usitalo. And yet again, Joachim Miller is there to pick up that ball. Out to Henrik Harala. Long bounce pass. Altonen gets it, scores! What a finish. Great pass from Harala. Great finish from Jarno Aaltonen. And the two guys you said needed to score have 4 goals.
Yeah, well, they have lived up to it the second half, but I think that was a great save on the end by Turku. Great outlet pass by Harala, and just great finish by Jarno.
We talked about Rope Jokela's younger brother as the future between the pipes for Finland, but Lauri Usitalo showing he's still very much the present with some great saves. Huge one there. Miller to Harala and up to Aaltonen. Ball still loose on the floor. Matla with a big push, but he's picked up by Carvery. He's going for a run. He's going to shoot. Saved by Usitalo. Comes back out to Quinn. Another save by Usitalo. And Turku always seems to have a defender who's right back in on the crease and steps in there ready to pick up any rebound. Really controls rebounds as they bounce out.
Yeah, and more often than not, it's Joachim Miller who's just the guy you want back there.
It is. I was actually about to say Miller, but that time it was, I think it was Matala actually last time to pick it up. Aaltonen gets a pick from Jokela. The pass through. Nice chance for Kaselmi. Big save by Chikal, and he's going to the bench for an extra attacker as we're 1:10 from the end, and a 2-goal deficit for the Privateers. Dunbar. There's a chance and a goal. John McDonald just sneaks one by Usitalo. We are into stop time in the final 2 minutes of the game, and it's 6-5 with 58 seconds to play.
Well, that was the first defensive breakdown by Turku, which you see here on the replay, and the Privateers made them pay for it. But I thought Usitalo had it, but somehow just trickled in behind them.
This will be a good view to see it. Great patience by McDonald. Oh, right through.
Yeah.
It just tipped off him and headed in. And you can see just the two Titans went up on the man who stepped up into the high slot.
Yep.
That let McDonald go. Viren clamping down. Loose ball push.
Big
it's
loose
be
ball.
Nova Scotia ball. Dunbar has the ball. Chikal is up there. We'll see if they take a timeout. They do. Nova Scotia's taking their timeout. It's 1 per team per game, and the Privateers will use theirs here. What a terrific game.
This has been great. This is both teams are here to play. They want to win, and yeah, they've definitely lived up to the billing.
And if we can get a look at the Nova Scotia bench, if we do have a look, the offense is crowded around Ian McShane, who is one of their star players, a righty. He actually was coming back from knee surgery on his left knee, and this was his return to the game in about a minute and a half or so into there he is in the gray shirt with the bit of a beard, and about a minute and a half in, he went down by the boards in obvious pain, gripping his right knee. Tried to come back a little bit later in the game with it wrapped up, lasted about 10 seconds and just dropped to the turf. He came up to me yesterday and said, yeah, done.
Wow.
So what is he? He said everything, ACL, MCL, meniscus. So really a shame, but he is playing a big role here, helping coach them. He's such a leader for this club. Dunbar with the rip, scores! Tie game!
Well,
2 goals in
Well, you said he couldn't
14
play,
seconds.
but maybe he drew up that one, and boy, did it work. What a great shot.
We'll give a bit of an assist to Ian McShane over on the bench. A little seal by Quigley. That's really just Dunbar letting it fly from the top and finding a corner.
Usitalo, he had the clear vision on that, but sometimes you just get beat by a great shot, which that was, piping in.
Joachim Miller got the little shrug to try and get his shoulder on it, and it probably missed it by about 2 centimeters. So Turku gets the ball, and they will take their timeout. 37 seconds to play. Tied up 6-6. I would say it's 95% that Lauri Usitalo stays in his net rather than coming out for the extra attack.
I would think so. There's no worry to take him out right now.
No.
I mean, I think Turku, you want to win in regulation, but they'd be more than happy to win in shootout. They have guys who have great hands, can sure.
Well, especially with 37 seconds left.
Exactly.
You know, you can't use up the whole 30 to shoot.
No.
Now, if they were to take a shot with about 20 seconds left, 15 seconds, and get a loose ball rebound, then does Usitalo come to the bench, or do you just go?
I think if they get the rebound, then he comes to the bench.
Yeah.
You're playing for the win.
Yeah, my guess is Usitalo probably lines up around. We'll see how far he goes. I would have him standing around the restraining line. Looks to me like he's actually going to stroll all the way to the bench, to the net. Yeah, he's going all the way. Among the best hair I've ever seen on a goaltender. The long braids, like halfway down his back.
It's great.
It is.
I've known him for a few years, and he's always had it, clearly, because it's very long. But,
yes.
yeah, maybe a turnover.
The ball is
here.
turned over. A pass just gets away, and that's just a terrible turn of events for the Titans. Here comes Grant Blackman. No timeouts left for either team, and Chaycal has gone to the bench for the 6th attacker. Only 5 on right now. They've got to send one more. There he goes. 10 seconds. We'll see what they can come up with. Miller's up at the top playing D, directing traffic. Jamie Dunbar. They're going to wait. Now they shoot. That shot's off Miller, up out of play and over into the restaurant area. I think that landed right in the bin of potatoes. Play's blown in, and time will run out.
Privateers were pretty slow moving the ball up the floor. They had the chance to win the game, but they're setting up in a 6-on-5 like they had 30 seconds. So I think if they had a do-over, they would push the ball a bit more and get a bit of a better shot than what they had.
So we will go to the shootout. Lori Usatalo between the pipes for the Turku Titans, and Marcus Chaycal between the pipes for the Nova Scotia Privateers. Thomas Chaycal, sorry.
Yeah, and at the end of the game, the Turku bench was yelling at the referees because they thought Privateers had too many men on the floor, which I think would lead to a penalty shot. And yeah, I think Chaycal ran on, and maybe someone had ran off, so they might have a case. But
yeah, I didn't notice. But the guys on the bench are going to be much more attentive to that. As announcers, obviously, we're following the ball largely. We try and catch things away from the play, but there's a discussion here. So the shootouts, I believe, are the same as with any round-robin game. 3 shooters per team. If one team gets more goals in those 3 shots than the other, they win. If it's the same number, 0, 1, or 1, 2, or 3, then we start going 1 per team back and forth until one team scores and the other doesn't. And the winner will get 7th place, which is not what either of these teams came for.
No.
But it's still, with all the very good teams here, it's still a good placement.
Yeah, and there's no shame, you know. They still top 10. They've got their place in the goal group. And as we talked about earlier, it's just a game of inches and clear misses. Both of these teams, on a good day, could easily win this tournament. So
easily.
Yeah.
I mean, Nova Scotia was in the finals last year. Turku was in the 3rd place game last year. And you think of that and you think, oh, this is a drop for them going to either 7th or 8th. But on the other hand, last year they both did very well. They earned their spots there, but they were also very close to not making it. I mean, they were both faced challenges getting to that point. Our next game coming up will be the 5th place game, the Pioneers versus the Alberta Warriors. I will have the call for that along with Jamie Plunkett, who was with me yesterday for a game. And you can see the Warriors, well, you can't see it right now, but the Warriors are to the right, lined up, ready to get in, and the Pioneers are all just kind of spread out along the boards behind them.
That should be a great game. Western Canadian matchup.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Alberta versus British Columbia baseball. There are guys from both, you know, they're crossing the borders a little bit, but basically Alberta and BC.
I expect a good, hard physical battle.
The first shooter is Max Kivaniemi, which is a bit surprising to me, but these guys are going to base it on what they've seen in practice. And you got to assume Kivaniemi has been very successful on penalty shots. Chaycal makes sure the net is placed on the line. Everything's set. 2 officials down low, 1 up high. Kivaniemi comes out moderately wide. Slow approach. Bounces at 5-hole, comes up and hits the underside of the bottoms of Chaycal, and he makes the stop.
Well, that 5-hole was there, but it looked like the ball might have just hooked on him if you see on the replay here.
Yeah, the angle gets a little steep.
Oh, it was definitely open, but good save nonetheless.
Luke Parker going to his offside. He's got to do some kind of crease movement. Oh, he does, and that's a beauty. Goes right across the crease. I don't know if I've ever seen a shooter on a penalty shot go to his offside, but Parker will blow some kisses to the crowd. Great support for the Privateers, and this is a beauty.
Well, the first time for everything, and it works, so maybe you'll be trying that again next time.
And now Petr Sevkovic. Save. Chaycal. I am very surprised by the shooters that Finland is sending out. Again, they are in practice all the time. They see the guys who are good at this. But when you've got Rope Jokela and you've got some of these guys there. I mean, wow.
I agree, but who knows? Maybe it's a fun tournament, and they're happy with 8th place, but they just want to give some other guys a chance.
Jamie Dunbar trying to finish it. If he scores, it's over. Coming in, soft shot. Tried the changeup. Usitalo stops it. Now they have to get this one.
I think that's
Henrik
Corrala.
I know Alberta had a penalty shot in a game that when Dylan Johnston was stopped on the way in, and I was thinking, and he took the penalty shot, and I thought, oh, do you not know you don't have to have him?
Yeah.
And I talked to the guys, and I said, no, he's just really good at it. The defender, he is great. Here comes Harala. Must score to keep it going. Does it, 5-hole, and that is the angle you want on that shot.
Just slow, steady, ice water in his veins, and great finish.
What a tournament Henrik Harala is having. This might be the top moment.
Simple little fake. I think he knew what he was doing right from the start.
There's a bit of a touch on the stick, and here comes Patty Quinn to try and finish it. He does. Same spot that Parker put it in, and that'll do it. Nova Scotia finishes 7th. Turku finishes 8th, and Laurie Usitalo has a big smile for his teammates. He's clearly would have liked to have won, but
I think they're happy with. I think they're happy with how they finished, and felt that they had a great game. But this was just a great finish.
This was an excellent game. Really fun. Brian, thank you so much for coming and joining me.
No worries. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
A lot of fun. Great call. And I'm Stephen Stamp. He is Brian Tyak. This has been the 7th place game, and we've got about 9.5 minutes till the 5th place game. So stick with us here from the 2019 Alice Hrebesky Memorial.
Skončilo nám utkání o 7. místo vítězstvím Radotín z Nové Scotii, kteří porazili Turku Titans. Bude následovat utkání o 5. místo
Now's your opportunity to explore, coach, and compete in one of the most unique leagues that the sport has ever seen. Contact Seth at lacrosse.co.il.